This is Fat Kings Friday for July 11th. I'm Phil Olson,
I'm Tyrone.
and welcome to the show. We got a special guest today, the
What's
one and
up,
only White
Pete?
Maple. He's like
Pete.
sexual chocolate.
The
Pete
White
White.
Maple. That's my new
That's right.
code name.
It is Pete White Maple. Now, it's White Man, right? Is that your
Yeah, White
last
Man.
name?
I,
I mean,
I'm the White Man.
I don't know if anybody's ever been more properly named ever.
I know, it's kind of funny, isn't it?
Now, did your family immigrate to Canada from anywhere else, or were you Canadian by
From
many
England.
generations? From England.
Well,
So they're like, you showed up, and they're like, White man, just go.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Oh, kid.
It's
So,
kind of,
have you always been in Canada? Like, have you traveled outside of Canada?
well, I lived in the States for about 9, 10 years.
Oh shit, I didn't know
Were
that.
you an illegal? Did you jump the border?
No, I did my PhD and my postdoc down there.
What do you got PhD in?
Uh, Geochemistry.
Oh wow.
We know a nuclear physicist and geochemist. We have the makings of our own country right there.
Yeah, and for my postdoc, I worked at the one of the beam lines at the Advanced Photon Source, Argonne National Lab. So I got the radiation going too.
Nice.
So that's where the hair went, right? That's what
That's
happened
right.
to your hair.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So we just gotta get you and Scott together, start working on a thorium reactor that actually solves the whole liquid saline, not the saline, the liquid sodium bath solution problem. And we
Liquid
will be
saline?
billionaires.
Is that like wet water?
No, sorry, liquid sodium. My apologies. And we'll be billionaires. We'll call it the Fat Kings reactor.
Oh, there you
Fat
go.
White, wait, we gotta think about this. The Fat White Maple.
Ginger. No, fat white ginger kings. Because Scott's a ginger.
That's right. Okay, good. But I was gonna go with
Right.
something for Scott. I was gonna do the tiger, something with a tiger. But you beat
Nah.
the Fat White Tiger Kings nuclear reactor. That's it right there.
That sounds like a far more work than I want to do.
So I'm curious about, and you're always free to pass on. Oh, and by the way, I wore the penguin for Pete, just so everybody's like, what is he wearing? It's a penguin. Just so everybody knows, because
I
it's
think it's
cold.
very fashionable.
I'm kind of a trendsetter. I don't really
Yeah.
follow fashion. Like I started wearing pantyhose, and then I saw ads for it, so I quit wearing them. But so anyway, so what's your story? So you've had all kinds of health shit going on, right? Like you broke your back and they stole your kidney or something. What went on? Well,
I had a rough time. Let me see. I guess it's probably been about 10 years ago. I had really put on the weight. That's when I got up to like 407 pounds or so. And I was having some health issues. Like, I was getting tired quick. I was sleeping all the time, and I had some gallstone issues. But I just said, it's the weight, right?
right.
I'm
Mhm.
400 pounds, so it's the weight.
So
Well, it
yeah.
turns out my liver was failing.
So what's the cause behind the liver? Do they know? Is it like a hereditary thing, or
It's,
did you hit the bottle too hard, or what?
no, but that was really knocking me out too. I would have like one drink at night, and it would like knock me out. But it didn't catch on to me that my liver was not doing so
I'm
well.
such a lightweight.
The yellow skin didn't tip you off at all, right?
No.
Okay.
No, actually, I have it's an autoimmune disorder.
Oh,
I don't know if
okay.
you guys know like lupus and
Mhm.
MS and all these things. So
We don't have
My-
those in
my-
America.
my immune system just decided to attack my liver. So,
Nice.
So you have lupus and
well, no, but it's like the
Oh.
same family of.
right.
Yeah.
What's the technical name of it?
It's autoimmune hepatitis.
Oh, okay. So, but that's different than like the viral or whatever, like hepatitis
Right,
C or
right.
B or A.
But
or
I try and
whatever.
avoid using the word because as soon as you say hepatitis, people like take 2 steps back.
Yeah, people get a little upset whenever I talk about my herpes. There's some stigma with it,
Right.
but
Yeah, 'cause it flares up all the time. It goes away. You can't even tell you have it a lot of the time.
But I think in general, hepatitis is going. I mean, hepatitis of any kind, the liver is what it goes after, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I had that, and you
Mhm.
know, I finally decided my health issues were big enough, so I moved back to Canada first thing, because you got to get the health insurance, right?
I was just gonna say, well, in that case, Canada might be.
Because I didn't qualify for health insurance in the U.S. because I was too fat.
Hmm.
Oh
So
yeah, I'm aware.
so
That's
yeah,
funny. Oh, you need health insurance? Well, we can't give that to you.
right.
We only give people money who don't need it and health insurance to the healthy. That's how things work here.
Yeah, so I spent like a few years dealing with that and getting a proper diagnosis because it's actually kind of a rare thing. So it took a long time to get that stabilized. And part of the treatment was giving me steroids, which reduces the inflammation and all that stuff, which causes bone density loss. So my back just went crush.
Ouch. Yeah, especially because of all the excess weight, right?
Right. So I got the weight and I got the weak bones, and something had to give.
So are you all healed up? Are you good?
I'm pretty good. I mean, every liver's stable. I mean, there's not much of it left, but but that's all stable, and my back is, it's healed up, but it's not straight. It's all bent up and whatnot. So the pain's still there, but I'm not going to split in two or anything, so it's okay.
No, that's good. So do you have any prospect that will you be able to get back to regular work again, or is that it? You're done. You're disabled forever.
It's pretty tough because when your liver gets to a point where I'm basically at the cirrhosis level, so and I lost a bunch of it too because I had a bleed somewhere along the way. So my energy level, like I'm good for 3 or 4 hours, and then I'm pretty much useless.
Right. That's kind of how I am, and I don't have anything wrong with me. So.
But that's the way you are when you're trying to get cirrhosis of the liver, TJ or Tyrone. That's because you're drinking. So
I'm working hard at it. I'm working really hard at it.
You have to have goals.
Yeah, but I gotta say, since losing upwards of 200 pounds, I mean I feel stronger, and my endurance is better than it's ever been, pretty much.
It seems weird now because I see you doing like your gun show and you're all ripped up now, but it just seems like last week you were making your videos about how awkward you were at the gym, like you didn't know how to.
Oh, I'm still awkward at the gym.
Oh.
You should see me. Because I switched over to using free weights now, right? So
smart.
I feel like I'm like a flailing monkey or something. Like it's just like I don't feel that well coordinated there, but it takes time, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, all those little muscles, if you were using machines, you
That's
never
it.
get that. You don't get those little muscles built up, and then as soon as you go to free weights, your weight drops. You can't pick up the heavier weight because you're like,
yeah,
what the hell's going on? How did I lose so much strength? It's not that you lost strength; it's all those little support muscles just never got any strength. So.
Right.
Because I definitely noticed that too. Because at my gym, the only thing we can't do is squats out of the machine. So you have to do your squats in the machine, and it just so sucks because it's like I feel like I can lift so much more, but I know if I were doing that free, it would be a nightmare. It would just be a mess. So.
Yeah, I actually tried a squat the other day with the barbell, and no.
No. Not going down.
It's like I went down and I just stayed down.
That's why they have those little handles that you can turn. So you turn them so you can click back in and escape your.
That's all great if it happens to line up where you are.
Right.
If you're between them, you're kind of fucked. It's just
you're kind of fucked. Like I can't go lower and I can't go up.
I got a spot here.
Yeah, screaming for help.
Security.
Okay, so let's get it now that we got all the Debbie Downer stuff out of the way. Oh, I should mention before because we usually lose users after like 5 minutes. So next week will be fully live show. We'll have very special guests, plural.
Ooh.
Making some.
Oh yes.
Some earth-shattering announcements. And really, I'm not pumping it up. That is a true statement.
Oh, wow.
I'll back him up. Not that Pete is not an awesome guest, but this is like this announcement will echo through time.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal, and it really is. You guys will see. You think it's the normal pump up, but it's not. Everybody wants to be here next. I mean, you're watching the show now, so we don't need to tell you to be here this week. But next week's show, be there for the live show because everybody's gonna talk about it, and you'll be like, "Fuck, I wish I would have watched."
This is so big. Neil deGrasse, the
Tyson, Neil deGrasse Tyson, yes.
He's going to be watching. That's how big deal this is.
Michio Kaku actually called to see if he could sit in as a guest during that show, and I told him no. We have to dedicate a full bandwidth to our guests.
It's humongous.
And you're not gonna give us any hints on the guest or anything.
I can't.
It would just give it away.
Embargo. We have a NDA embargo on it, so we can't release it until next Thursday. So it's embargo until the 17th. There's nothing we could get sued.
Probably, I could see that actually happening. So
that's happening too.
So anyway, we got that out of the way. So what are the things that you notice, or what is your as Americans? What is our greatest misconception of Canadians?
Greatest like honest ones or actual?
Mm-hmm. No, like what do you hear that like it's Americans just automatically assume? And
I think the biggest thing is they don't realize how big Canada is. Like just the other day, someone was like, "Hey, Sarah and Gooch are getting together with Nikki and having a barbecue. You should go and hook up with them."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Yeah, well, if I had 10 hours to drive there, then I would."
Well, now where are you at in Canada?
I'm east of Montreal.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that on the east side, or is that on the west side, or is that on the east side and they're on the west side? I don't know. I know nothing.
Well, we're both on the east side. That's the thing. See, we're both on the east side, but yet still.
So it's like going from like Florida to Virginia type of deal. It's a 12-hour drive.
It's like Canada is probably like Russia, where it's humongous, but most of it's uninhabitable.
Right.
That's where they put the French. That's where all the French are at. They put all the French in the uninhabitable regions.
If only.
Oh, a man who's after my heart. Oh.
Well, you live in the Frenchy part of Canada, don't you?
That's it. I'm in the Frenchy land, so.
So are French Canadians as douchey as Frenchies?
So Parisian French? Nobody says douchey's Parisian.
They're kind of like redneck Parisians. if you can envision that. That's kind of what it's like.
They're like Tanya, kind of like.
Well, I was actually gonna say they're Turkish, but yeah. No.
Oh, because the whole French border.
Right.
She can kill me later. It's all right. And she will.
Yeah.
So
that's about it.
Are you? So it's just the size. So are you guys all nature freaks? You guys are all peace loving. You guys,
nice.
You're all very nice. You all say a boot.
About?
A boat. Oh, you do say about, but that's from being in America so long, right? That's where you learn to speak proper English.
No. I think the boot is mostly like the people who are out like in Newfoundland or something like that.
Oh, Sarah says a boot.
Does she?
She says a boat.
Maybe she just says it for fun.
Process. She says process.
Process. The process.
Yeah, I still say things like router.
Router.
When I want to say router.
Oh, okay.
I
So
don't know why.
Do you take
the router? I just want to let you know.
Do you take the route or do you take the route? Like if you're going somewhere, do you take a route or do you take a route?
You shouldn't ask. You shouldn't have phrased both ways.
I think it's a route. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so complicated.
It is. Okay, so one question that had come in is from Erin Warren. She asks, what is the one piece of advice you would give pre-ops? And it's for all of us. Pete, we'll let you go first.
One piece of advice for pre-ops. That's a tough one. I mean, for success, I think tracking your food is got to be the way to go. When you're losing weight, you got to track your food. Or even plan it out in advance with your tracker. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. Because you don't. I mean, when your calorie level is like 1,000 calories plus or minus 200 is huge. That could be losing or not losing, you know?
Mhm.
So you really have to watch it. And you have to weigh it.
Right. Yeah, I
That is-
stopped at like week 3, but anyway.
Dude, that is such a timely thing, Pete. I'm gonna actually talk about that in my next video because I noticed a little something the other day. I won't get to it now, but that is really true. You're dead on the money on that.
Mm.
I gotta say though, I'm gonna go with start doing some kind of working out now before surgery. I'm not saying go run on the treadmill or pump iron or do a an Ironman or anything. I'm saying walk, get your ass moving now, because any muscle building you can do before surgery, I think helps you bounce back from surgery faster. In my heart of hearts, I believe it, because I bounced back so fast, but I had worked out so hard before that it was like almost effortless to recover. That's what I'll go with.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too, because also you'll, once you do start losing the weight, your fitness level won't have to like catch up. I mean, you lose weight so quickly that your
Right.
fitness level can't catch up.
Yeah, and you
You
lose
know?
a lot of muscle initially too, because
Yeah.
you're not eating, so your body goes after the best fuel source in it, which is the muscle mass. So I mean, you still lose some fat, obviously, but initially, I bet your muscle mass loss, the fat loss, is much higher in the beginning than later on when you kind of start eating more proteins and kind of trying to maintain that. So,
Mhm.
but
Mine would be just because you can doesn't mean you should. So a lot of people ask about drinking and caffeine and things like that. When can I have this? When can I have that? And I think that if you can, just forget about all those bad things. Like
as you possibly can.
as long as you, I mean, eventually you might fall back into it. I don't know. I didn't stay away long enough to to really form those good habits, but yeah, I would say don't think about when can I have caffeine again. When can, like for me, for chewing. So when can I have tobacco again? When can I have alcohol? When can I have, just all the things you shouldn't be having. Don't even think about when you can have those. Just once you stop them in your pre-op phase, just forget about them. Don't just stay away from them for as long as you can.
Yeah, I think that's the real benefit of weight loss surgery. It's a chance to just break from all those habits. I mean,
Yeah, it's a reset.
basically 3 months where you're just totally broken of your habits. So the longer you can stop from getting back into them, I mean.
And you've got to think about it like it's a 1 year fuse. Like there's a fuse, and you light that fuse the day you have surgery, and you want to make the most of that fuse. It's not going to stop burning for that first year, and then when you get to by the time you get to 1 year, yeah, you've started picking up some bad habits again, and maybe you're doing it more mindfully, but you're still doing it. But the most you can make out of that first year is where you get the biggest bang for the buck. So if you're going to go through all this work, take advantage of all 365 days if you can. There's just nothing. There's no reason not to.
I still have 3 months left before my year's up, so I can form my good habits now, right? It's not too late.
Right. You can start that right now.
Yeah, I don't like
7 days, less
that
than
myth of the 1 year fuse on weight loss surgery. I think for some of the surgeries it definitely applies, like RNY, because there's some physical change in your stomach that goes along with it at that point where you become more or less tolerant to like insulin and sugars and stuff like that. But with stuff like the VSG, I mean, it'll go as long as you keep eating the way you've been eating.
Yeah, I still can't.
I mean, eventually you do reach a point where your weight has dropped so much that the fitness you do isn't giving you as much bang for it. But if you had been increasing your fitness all the way through, then you'd probably be.
Speaking of, you said bang. So speaking of bang, how's the lady situation? You're getting all shredded, ripped. You're in good shape. You're good to go. Any prospects on the companion?
No, not at all. No, well, you've watched my videos. You know I'm having a problem socializing and whatnot, just in general. But you'd think that one of these fine ladies at the gym or at the supermarket or somewhere would, take a shining to me. But
No.
I mean, you're in a community of mainly women. I would think some of the women in the community would be like, "Hey, that Pete." Look at
Well,
that
and I wonder, Pete, maybe they are hitting on you and you're just not catching it. Like so if a woman is interested in you, Pete, should she stop trying to be sly about it and just go like, Pete, we need to fuck? I mean, is it?
Yeah,
like, do you
totally.
not catch on? You don't catch on to the subtle hints, right?
I think Pete's got the old fat man style mentality of like,
He just
oh,
automatically thinks he's in friend zone.
friend zone right away, right?
Yeah, and it's worse than that too, because all the relationships I had in the past developed from the friend zone.
Yes, that's bad because that's
You know,
very-
like I've never gone from the one night stand to a relationship. Like that doesn't, you know,
Well, you
that
don't.
transition.
You don't. A one night
Those are
stand is
not-
different than a.
You know what I mean? But like a random encounter to a
Right.
relationship. Yeah.
And the other thing is, when you're a guy, you got to be the aggressor a lot of the times. Not everybody is comfortable being the aggressor, especially if you came up big. You never got the training and the input for that. So, ladies, if you're liking Pete, Pete is doing it for you, and I'm telling you, I'm telling you, you should never wear sleeves ever again, is what I'm saying. Because you will pull way more that way. Just be abrupt. Be like, Pete, I want to be on you. That's what you
Right. Yeah, you got
maybe
just.
not
yeah,
quite
straight
that
up.
forward, because that might just scare me the hell away.
That's what they make Viagra for.
That's right.
You're good.
All right, so at least we
vitamin fine.
yeah, I mean, and that was one of my things is maybe you don't pick. See, I have the opposite effect. I just assume all women want me, and then it's a heart crushing thing when I realize that 99.9% of them don't.
It's a tough thing though, especially when talking to women, because you don't want to come off as a creeper,
Right.
right?
But you know what? No. Here's the deal, man.
It's hard. It's hard. You gotta just
You know
you
what
gotta
you need
take
to
it.
I know exactly what you need to get a sales job, a phone sales job from home. Because it's something you could do work-wise,
Mhm.
and it will teach you that out of 100 calls, you may get 10 people that want to talk to you and 3 people that want to buy. That's dating. That's women.
Yeah,
Talk to 100 women,
yeah, I know.
10 of them may be interested, 3 of them will go out with you. Period.
I think that my advice, my thought is, I'm probably the last person you should take advice from, but you just have to get over the fear of rejection. Like,
That's what-
rejection just can't bother you.
That's what sales will do for you, by the way. You
Yeah,
just get it over. You just don't give a shit. You hear no all the time. That or get married to somebody who doesn't like sex, and then you'll hear no all the time. And then that'll make it so easy to take rejection. So sales or marriage, either one might be right for you.
So, and I know that you struggle with just overall social anxiety, right?
yeah, I seem to be. I mean, I never was like that really before. I mean, sure, I was a little introverted, but yeah, definitely since putting on the weight and then losing the weight, yeah, definitely. Because I mean, with all the health issues, I mean, it became isolated. All those friendships get dropped off, and you don't get back with these people for 5 years, and you just lose contacts, and then you lose the interaction.
Right.
So that's kind of what happened.
Man, no, I understand. And
Mhm.
I think that you're slowly coming out of it, whether you realize it or not. Because I remember some of your earlier videos, like you would walk and you'd be filming while you're walking, you'd be like, oh, there's a person. And you would kind of. And now you're just sitting there in front of McDonald's talking in your camera, and it doesn't bother you at all. So I think that you're slowly coming out of it, you're just not realizing it yet.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it definitely is going to take some time, but I do have to put effort into it too. So it's.
And Xanax can help out a lot.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking of talking to my doctor about that.
You should just a little bit.
Yeah.
I would recommend another thing, but it probably won't work for you with your liver thing. But vodka is a really good inhibitor too. But
Actually, I'm a weird drunk. Like I don't get quiet, but I don't really change that much unless it's rye whiskey, and then I just flip my. I don't know what happens.
Huh. Is that where the bodies in the freezer came from? Were you on a little bit
Right.
of the rye whiskey?
Right.
Okay, note to self, no rye whiskey. There's a body in my freezer, no rye whiskey. Ever.
Now, what about, I mean, Canada, another thing that Canada is very known for is its weed. Are you not a weed partaker?
No, the smoking thing. I don't like to smoke.
No? There you go. Well, you can eat it. You don't have to smoke it.
Just eat a larger quantity.
You could put it in your, well, don't eat a larger
Put it in your
quantity. It'll
protein
really
shake.
jack you up. Put it, throw a little in your protein shake. Good day.
Yeah, that would be an interesting way to get my little phytoproteins, right?
You would walk around. You already have the laugh. You'll really have the laugh after you do that. So, so I have more questions. Let's see. What is the best thing that's happened as a result of WLS?
Oh wow. the best thing that's happened. I don't know. It's a tough call. I think I don't know, just feeling better, moving around more freely, and being more agile, and not having to worry so much about. I mean, I used to have to. I'd drop something on the floor and be like, "Oh crap, this is a major problem." And God forbid I actually spill something on the floor and have to get down there and like clean it up,
Right.
I have to like crawl up the counter to get back or something, I mean, when you're 400 pounds, I mean, things like that are really like.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah. Yeah.
We have one viewer question in the channel.
I see that there's 6 viewers. We get more viewers whenever we don't post anything than whenever. So what's the viewer question, and who's it come from? Who the hell's
It's
watching?
from Amanda Sims. First time
Okay.
question, as far as I can remember.
Okay.
Tyrone, do you find that without pot you can't eat, or when you do, everything makes you nauseous?
Yeah. So if I gotta be careful what I say, but let's just say I do smoke a lot of pot. Let's make that assumption that I do.
Okay, as a hypothetical. Go ahead.
If hypothetically, if I did, I would say that yes. I would say that my appetite would be suppressed, so I would be able to eat a lot more than I should be able to. And whenever I were to stop smoking, if I did, I think that yes, I would get more nauseous more often. But I have a very sensitive stomach anyway. I don't know if that's what it's related to or not, but if I were to get high, I believe that I would be able to eat whatever the fuck I want to eat.
So that bag of Doritos would just.
It'd be gone. Well, there's some things, I mean, like Doritos, I might be able to eat like 6 chips, but if I were high, I could eat 11 chips before I puke. I mean, it's still in comparison to the way I used to eat. It's very minimal, but
it sounds like you have some really serious restriction, even though you're like a giant and your stomach is like 5 feet long.
Yeah, it's
seem to have some pretty good restriction.
Yeah, and I mean, I really my weight goes down quick. I'll plateau for a little bit. Like I was down to 209, and I've had to really fight to get back up into the 2 teens. It was freaking me out. I was getting too low.
Yeah, I saw your bikini pic there.
Yeah.
Which one? Which one?
The beach one with the 2. Yeah.
That's when because I compared the 2, and that wasn't even at my biggest there. That was I was probably around 290-ish in there. So I was almost 50 pounds lighter than my heaviest weight. But 50 pounds on me, it spreads over a lot. So
Still,
visually, it
People
is.
notice 50 pounds. I don't care how tall you are.
They do, but you know, it used to. Now I'll notice 5 pounds. So if my weight shifts 5 pounds, I notice it. It used to be if my weight shifted 20 pounds, I had no clue. I'd be like, whatever. That's how fat I was.
So a new comment, just Jennifer, a married woman, of course. This always comes from married women.
Jennifer Bleacher?
Yeah, Pete
Okay.
is amazing. Any girl would be lucky to have him. Only married girls will tell you this.
I know.
David, that doesn't speak well for you, brother. You better step up the game. I'm kidding.
Freddie Mercury. I tried to find a comparison pic to deal with Freddie Mercury side by side.
Couldn't because he doesn't look.
I couldn't because he doesn't look a lot like. In my mind, he looks just like him. But when I started trying to compare the pictures, it just wasn't lining up.
Awesome sauce.
Okay, so let's see what else we got. What is on your post-surgery bucket list that you still need to do, Pete?
I didn't really have a big bucket list, you know. I just wanted to start being more active. I mean, that's all, you know.
So there's nothing that you were like, man, when I get thin, I'm going to do blah. And you haven't done it
Not
yet.
really. I don't plan on doing any skydiving if that's what you're asking.
But not like zip lining or river rafting or tube.
Oh, I mean, I'd love to do some zip line. I think zip
So
line.
maybe you should come down in the May time frame and do the
that's
NSV
true.
retreat.
Yeah, that looks pretty crazy.
You
And I
should
think
come
if
down.
Pete's in such good shape, we should probably get him for the Tough Mudder too, because we got to start stacking the deck.
It's kind of funny. Like I'm doing pretty well in my fitness, but my balance and everything is still like horrible. I don't know if you guys watched what is it, Jamie. She posted a video today or yesterday. She was talking about her fitness program, and she's doing pistol squats. And you guys know what a pistol squat is? If not, go to Google
Sounds
and look
hot.
at it. It's freaking impossible to do, and she's doing pistol squats, and I'm just
Are you
like,
talking about Jamie Corb or a different Jamie? There's a few Jamies, so I don't know.
no, she's like only like 6
Oh,
months
are you
out
fucking
from
kidding me with
surgery.
this? You mean the one-legged squat all the way with the other leg straight out, right?
Yes.
That's fucking insane.
That is.
I can't
That's
even hold my leg
impossible.
out straight for that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is that you gotta remember, women have stronger lower bodies than men. Men are upper bodied, women are lower bodied.
Yeah, but still.
That's
There's
my
no
excuse. Pete, go
There's
with
no
me
way.
on this. Go with me on this.
Go with it. Go with it. I got some crazy
Just let it happen.
doing that with weights over her head too. She's got 135 over her head and she's doing pistol squats.
That's not just strength,
Yeah.
that's balance. Yeah.
I mean,
that's cool.
there's certain, like, I lift weights. I'm
Mhm.
not fit. Like, that's the distinction I make, you know?
No, you are fit.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah. Well,
go and you bike
I'm
ride like
feeling it.
800 miles and all that.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Actually, it's kind of funny. My core is starting to fill out now. Like,
Mm.
I don't know if you guys. I kind of noticed a bit in Phil's. Like, I noticed he's getting.
The
You have
V?
no lateral muscles anymore.
My lats are all illusion because
No, but even like in your sides, I mean, like your lower lats, they just go away when you lose weight.
Yeah,
But
I don't-
slowly, I'm starting to fill out that way, which is kind of
which makes your pant size bigger, which has got to freak you out a little bit. Like, oh no, my pants are good
not
size.
so much because I still wear my pants a little too low.
Oh, gotcha.
Because the stomach roll helps with that, keep them down.
That's the stomach tongue. The stomach tongue.
Stomach
Tongue, yeah.
Hmm.
But no, I think because of that, because my core is getting stronger, I mean, I feel a lot more explosive and, just more balanced. Like, even if my weights that I'm lifting is not like going through the roof, I just feel more solid when I'm doing the movement. So things like that.
a lot more. You'll get that a lot more with the free weights too.
Yeah.
You won't. There's no choice because the micro adjustments that you make that you don't realize you're making are tightening all those little tiny. Those
Yeah.
little tiny movements are just giving you more strength and density to your muscles. So.
But
I
figure
notice
I'm-
I don't stumble around as much when I'm going to refill my drink as I used to.
There you go.
You must be getting better core muscles.
But I still figure I'm about 5 years away from pistol squats.
Dude, I mean, look, man, I do a shit ton of squats, and a pistol squat would be tough. I mean, the closest I come to a pistol squat is like yoga, where you put your one leg up over the thigh of the other leg and then kind of squat into it to stretch the muscle, but you're not going down like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to try it now. I'm going to have to try one. Not right now.
I bet Jenny could do one.
Jenny probably could. I mean, she
Yeah.
works out. She has some pretty good sized thigh muscles.
Mm.
You know, she does a lot of running and stuff like that. So
Did you have any other comorbidities, Pete, from the weight? Or I mean, you have
besides having your liver
you had
shot
enough
and your back
comorbidities
rub.
in life, but I mean, weight-specific ones.
No, I mean, I was like the pre-diabetic or whatever you want to call that. But no, I didn't
Isn't
really.
that like, if you don't have diabetes, isn't that pre-diabetic?
Pretty much
There was a
nowadays.
range though that were like, yeah, in another year you're gonna have diabetes. It's like
Well,
over
my
200.
doctors would say, look, if you're taking in a lot of salt and you keep eating like you're going to get diabetes. Like, that's what they told me, So it's like I was really getting up there,
Yeah.
I don't know why the salt was a factor looking back at it, but the doctor actually said that, so.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it for the heart. My doc told me if I kept smoking that I would die at 50, so I started chewing.
50 shit, I thought I had till 45. Oh, this is fine.
What else we got here? What has been the best part of having WLS? I think we already asked that, right?
I think so. I saw some more comments. Hang on a sec.
But I don't know if I answered it. The answer is my penis.
Your penis is the best part of WLS? There you go.
I'm just joking.
Hey, Tanya wants to know how dare we do live and not tell her. Well, being live
Wait,
is the byproduct of trying to record. That's all live is about.
Yeah, we didn't actually. There was no other way to really record the show properly without going live. We just figured we wouldn't tell anybody and nobody'd show up. We didn't know that somehow
Yet,
everybody
we
would
got
find
more
out.
people showing up than when we do tell them. So maybe it's the
Now
later
we know.
hour. I don't know. Maybe.
And it could be. And now we know. We just don't announce the show and everybody shows up.
Right.
So
Shayla's in here too. Okay, I'm 3.5 weeks out from RNY. Haven't been released to go to the gym. What can I do other than walk? I'm walking a lot. You can just keep doing that until you're released to go back to the gym.
what about swimming?
Fuck
You can
around.
swim, I would think.
I would think that would be really tough on the abdominals.
Well, no, I mean, not
Well,
you don't have to
at
go
three-
do laps, but just
at-
move it.
3.5 weeks. I don't know if you're cleared for swimming yet because
I
of the
would-
incisions.
Incisions, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
wait.
that's right,
You
yes.
will have plenty of time. Trust me.
Yeah.
You're talking about 6 weeks out of 52 weeks. Okay, so that leaves you, 46 weeks. Sorry, of working out. You can work out all you want for 46 weeks, but just don't f around. Do your walking. Do your water. Get your protein in. The physical stuff will come. I'm telling you the same thing I just told Walter. Not to worry about that shit until he's there.
I was
Yeah.
really itching to get back in the gym. I was really
Me too.
wanting to get in the gym, and then at 4 weeks, they said, okay, you're good to go.
I was working out 4.5, 5 days a week. And I said half because I would do like a light workout on that 5th day normally, or I would do a full one. And I had to stop for 6 weeks. It was murder. It was horrible. I mean, and I hated working out, but it was just when it was out of my life, I hated it even more. So,
Why did you have to stop?
because I had surgery.
Oh, for surgery. Oh, okay.
6 weeks, I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm actually worried about that. Thinking about plastic surgery if I ever get it. That's going to be that's going to last like 2 months pretty much where you can't do any serious.
Yeah, I was talking to I have a trainer at the gym, young guy, but when he was younger, he lost he was like 360 pounds. He lost a ton of weight. You'd never know it looking at him now. He's like Pete lean. I mean, he's super lean, but he did have the skin removal done, and he said it was rough not working out because he became obviously a physical fitness trainer, and to not work out was like hell on earth. He said it was everything he could do just to walk on the treadmill, hunched over because his abdominals were so sore and skin was so tight.
Oh man.
I don't know, man, if I would do plastics just because I couldn't work out. It's kind of a factor. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's tough.
One of the things that I'm worried about, I have to have shoulder surgery on both my shoulders, but we got Tough Mudder, and then we have the NSV thing, and I'm thinking, when am I going to be able to do shoulder surgery and have 6 weeks to go through rehab to get it done? So, anyway, I was just thinking about that.
It's a long period.
Well, and I have to have both of them done, so really I'm looking at 12 weeks
Yeah, because they won't do them at the same
to
time.
be good. Yeah, I don't.
You'd be pretty useless if you did the both at the same time.
I have to have one hand to masturbate with, at least. And if both my shoulders are jacked up, there's no jacking if your shoulders are jacked.
And you really don't want to, eat through a straw or anything.
No.
That's
And
really feeding
then,
yourself.
and Penny's leaving me for 6 months to go do that movie, so I
6 now?
can't
The
do
movie
it.
about killing people.
That's right.
I thought it was 12 or 18 months, but
No, 6 months. She did
Oh,
15
shit.
months before.
That's
This
a
is
cakewalk for you.
Yeah, no, it's just 6 months. So I'm thinking I might wait until next summer, depending on pain levels.
Hmm.
Because the doc tried to stick me back on like heavy duty painkillers, and I was like, "Fuck that! I'm not doing the painkiller thing again."
Yeah, I should be hearing about whether I improved pretty soon. I think in another 2 months maybe.
For what? Your back?
No, for plastic surgery.
Oh, gotcha. I
So
don't
wait a
know.
Back up the truck a second. So I know you went and did a plastics consult, but they didn't want to give you everything you needed, right? Under the
Well, I put in for 3 things. I put in for the stomach, which is most likely going to be covered, and then I did inner thigh and chest.
okay.
Those 2 are not going to happen.
I heard that sometimes when they do the stomach, though, it does tighten up the upper leg and the back of your ass a little bit because they pull all that up. But
Well, that's what I asked my doctor, but he says no. He was
Really?
he was an asshole. Let's just be honest about it. He was just a total asshole, and he's like, no, we don't do any pulling. There's cutting and there's sewing. There's no pulling. And I'm like, what the?
Hey, you know what you just said? You said, hey, listen, you douchebag. I'm sorry you weren't born in America where you could make money doing this, but I have needs.
Well, it's just a lot of these things. It just seems so silly for me because once the huge decision is made,
What's the fucking difference? Exactly.
getting a nurse to say, "Can you hold this? Just give this a little tug while I sew it up," is not really, you know. Does that really cost $6,000 or whatever it is? Probably not.
So maybe what you just said is answering the question, but what has been the worst part of weight loss surgery?
Oh, well, I mean, the skin is an issue, but well, okay. One of the big dreams I had about weight loss surgery
Mm-hmm.
and just being a guy in general is I'd like to walk around without my shirt on.
Mm-hmm. But you
That's
can. I mean, that's a mental thing. That's not a
No, no,
physical
no,
thing.
no, 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 no. I can't.
Why? Will the
I would-
skin catch air and you'll blow away? Like, is
No,
it actually
all
a
the
safety
women and
hazard?
children would be running away.
It'll deploy like a flying squirrel, and he'll just fly
I
away.
know.
No, it's just too much. Like I mean, as a fat person, you wouldn't stand out as much as someone who had lost 200 pounds. You know?
I don't have this problem. I mean, maybe I do.
I know, but
I just don't
you didn't
know,
lose
but-
as much weight, and plus you're lanky. So
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I just never.
I mean, for me, I mean, really, it's my chest. I mean, my nipples are about 2 inches below where they should be.
So you're like all the women in the WLS community. Right?
Yeah, but except
I
there's
think mine
nothing.
are a little
Except,
low, to be honest.
except there's nothing in there like to prop up. It's not like I could put a push-up bra on like the
Right.
girls can, right?
Well, you could, but
There's nothing there to lift. So
get you a
Phil?
mankini, you know.
What do you think? What do you find has been the worst part?
The worst part of the whole weight loss process, you mean?
Yes. What's been worst part of WLS?
You know, it's like there's so many positives. You almost feel bad complaining, but it won't stop me. No, I think that just the realization that, especially as a guy who was big his whole life,
Mm-hmm.
the whole adjustment to like a normie mentality, to get away from that black and white, that very rigid kind of code that you make of like, I'll never do this so that this never happens. I'll never do that so this never happens. Like you make these rules to protect yourself from ever being ridiculed or whatever, and then trying to like get into that world where things are a little more gray and it's like okay to kind of not worry about that shit. It's hard to let that stuff go. So I say the mental work is definitely a lot harder for I think somebody who's been big their whole life.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the mental part is a little rough, but and for me, I'm gonna say there's nothing about the WLS for me has been the worst thing. I mean, it's a good thing. The only thing that I could say, and I remember watching videos and thinking, right, is that I wish I would have done it a long time ago.
Oh God, yeah.
oh, that's a huge one. I mean, I had my referral in hand for over 5 years.
Wow.
You know, and I just
Yeah.
I just couldn't make that decision. And even when I got close to it a few times, you know, I'd have some health issue that would just like I would just say, okay, well, I got to deal with this. I can't do that and surgery.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, I think if I had done this at 35 instead of 42, I mean, shit, man, or 41. I started when I was 41. My life choices would have been very, very different, and they were during a critical time in my life where a lot of shit was going down, or a lot of that shit wouldn't have gone down because I would have already done that. So
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of
I can see
excited
that.
for a lot of these people in the community, like the really young guys, like
I mean, I'm still in my 30s.
Molly and Bobby and all these people that are in their 20s and they're getting it taken care of. I mean, it's just opening up a whole world for them, you know, that I probably might have done if I had done it then too.
because let's just face it, I mean, I come at it from being a parent and you know all that, but certain opportunities just close off to you as you get older. It's not a bad thing. They just do. I mean, that's just life. And to have this done when you're young, I mean, you don't know what a gift it is because you don't realize that those things close off as you get older.
Right.
So having access to even more of them when you're young is even better. Your chances are so much better at a quote unquote happier life. It's not a guarantee, but you at least have more opportunities for to do different things, experience different things when you're younger, and realize the things you like and the things you don't like, and the importance of sharing those things with somebody else, et cetera, et cetera. So I think if you learn that later in life, it can cause a lot of friction in your life. Because you have your duty and you have your what makes you happy, and you have to try and reconcile the two. When you're young, you just have what makes you happy. You know,
Right.
shit, I don't have any duties yet. You know.
Yeah,
Get my
it
fucking
definitely,
bed, that's it, you know?
it definitely narrows your possibilities, and your life maybe could have taken another path, but you never got over there because of the weight.
Yeah, a lot less what ifs, especially because if
Yeah.
you're big your whole life. Well, what if so and so had? What if I dated so and so? And because God, we're so much alike now, but back then I was too fat for her to even give me time of day or whatever. You know, like even in high school, when you're in high school and you're big, like
Mhm.
it's. I don't blame girls in high school per se for not dating the big guy because they're so worried about what other people are thinking about them. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
the big guy, I might be thought of as something less. But you think, God, well, what if I hadn't been the big guy? What opportunities would I have had? You know, like you just play games with yourself. It's not that it's reality. It's just that you play games. So.
Yeah, I didn't have any of those problems.
Well, yeah, you didn't because you weren't a guy.
So is there anything, this is my question for you guys, is there anything that you've caught yourself doing through this that you said, I'm not going to do that? Like for me, I said, I'm not going to drink. There's a lot of things that I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to go back to sweets. I'm not going to start chewing again. I'm going to be hardcore for 1 year. It was what I told myself. And I really judged everybody before, when I was pre-op saying, what the fuck are they doing? I'm making the most of this opportunity. Is there anything that you find yourself doing that you told yourself you would not do?
I don't think so. Definitely there are some things like I told myself, I'm not gonna have cookies anymore because there's no nutritional value in cookies anymore. I'm not gonna have chips anymore because there's no value in that for me, and it's not good food. But I still have some occasionally, but it's like really even now I restrain myself. Even when I'm trying to get my calories up into astronomical levels, I still can't allow myself to dive into a bag of Oreos or something.
Yeah. What about you, Phil?
I'm with Pete on that. I think I'm with Pete. I think it's like I'm not gonna eat cookies. I'm not gonna eat chips. I did both, but to Pete's point is I did it mindfully, knowing I was doing it, and I didn't have a bag of corn chips. I had a serving of corn chips.
Right.
I didn't have a bag of cookies. I had a serving of cookies. You know what I'm saying? Now alcohol, I was going to try and stay away from a little longer. But I kind of got curious as to, is my lower weight going to make me get drunk faster? And I was going away. I think I was actually going to New Orleans with you guys. And I said,
that is when you started drinking. It was right before New Orleans,
wasn't it? Before I go, if I'm going to be on the freaking floor, I want to know how much because when you want to party responsibly, right? Like you want to party to the point of I'm having the most fun I can have without throwing up on the table and having to be carried to a taxi. Names excluded. I'm not
John O'Rourke. John O'Rourke.
I say it with love. But you don't want to be that dude, right? I mean, like I didn't want to go there just because I didn't know my line. So I tried to relearn my line before I went, and then I realized, oh yeah, I really still like drinking.
I can't say much about John. I don't mean to cut you off, but Tanya and Jenny had to carry me. I couldn't.
That was the funniest part of that whole trip.
Yeah.
Because you got what was it? Was it Troy and I? Troy or John and I? So you got these two big burly dudes carrying John, who's by no means a small dude, but he's not a big dude like TJ. We're carrying him, and you got these two women carrying TJ. It should have been the other way around.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was good fun. We'll do it again in February, but
that actually reminds me of one fat experience that I had when I was in Montreal doing my I guess it was my master's at that point. I would go to a bar all the time, right? But it was the winter. There was a lot of ice out there, and we took the back door out of the pub, and it was slippery. I fell down, and I was drunk, and literally, I could not get up.
You were like the kid in Christmas Story Where
There
he's
was
laying
no
there and
way.
he's trying to get up and he's moving around.
It was like impossible.
Oh,
And
shit.
2 friends that were with me were trying to help, and I would just take them out.
Right, yeah, exactly. They're not gonna fucking pull you up.
I did that. I went to try. I attempted to go snowboarding, and I could. When I fell down, I could not stand back up. Jenny was grabbing me. She's trying to pull me up, and I was like, "Fight it!" And I took it off. I walked back up the mountain, took the gondola down because I couldn't get up after I fell down. It sucked.
Yeah.
Tanya, you're tall, which makes it even worse. Snowboarding's tough when you're tall.
Yeah.
So Tanya
Ow.
wanted to know why did Pete change his channel name?
Oh yeah.
I don't know anything about
Oh
it.
yeah, well that's Google Plus. You know, you gotta love Google Plus, because
It's a feature, is what you're saying.
yeah, it was a feature of Google Plus that my channel was recommended to a family member,
Oh.
Oh.
and I was like, I don't want to deal with that,
Right.
so I had to try and revamp change
Yeah,
the name, and
Because he was Pete Rocks the Sleeve, and now he's Sleeve Rocker.
which is a much better name.
It is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah,
I give you credit. It was
But,
an
you know,
upgrade.
yeah.
I mean,
So
I think that was bad.
What are we at on time, Phil? Because I have no idea when we started.
You know, I don't either, and there's no clock running. Well, it's
There should be.
8:32. I think we started around 7:30, but let me hang on. Maybe I can check my Google Plus.
Well, you should be able to see it on the broadcast, no?
Oh, I just pull up the comments. Hang on, let me pull that up. Hang on one second.
I don't know. We could be sitting at 2 hours. I'd have no fucking clue. So let me see what else we got
15 minutes
here.
and 36 seconds currently. So we got.
Okay.
10 minutes.
Yeah, we're good. So, Pete, why do you make YouTube videos?
That's a good question. I think now it's. I mean, obviously, everyone's really excited to hear whether I've gained or lost a pound, which is where it's been for like 2 months now. No one's interested in that. But I think for me, it's a time for me to just sort of sit down and be a little reflective. It's like, have I done anything this week? You know, have I made any progress on these other goals in addition to maintaining my weight?
So the weight really for you is it's a metric, but it's not the metric. In other words, it's a metric in relation to other things you're trying to achieve, like put on more muscle, lift more weight, or whatever. So if that number goes up, you're like, oh, maybe I gained some muscle, or if it goes down, oh shit, maybe I lost some muscle. I mean, it's different kind of.
Well, I
analogy
think
for you,
I think it's pretty much just a one-way thing now. Like if it goes up, I attribute it to muscle because I have gained a ton of muscle in the past 2 months or 3 months since I've really upped my calories, but my weight has been absolutely flat. So, it's not muscle gain, yeah, but I still had some fat somewhere that went away at the same time.
Have you ever done your body fat measurement?
No, there's
It's like
there's
2%.
There's like no, it's really low. Like
He's skin and muscle. There is no body
Okay,
fat.
so let
Yeah.
me put it this way, and Pete, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I don't know if you ever made your age public, but if you don't mind, what's your age?
I'm 41.
Okay, you're 41. So
Yeah.
let me give you some breakdown here. So an ideal body fat for a 41-year-old man, you and I happen to be in the same category,
Mhm.
is 15.9% up to about 19.6. It's actually probably about 20, actually about 20.5 to be honest with you. But lean
So that-
starts at 13.8, and I gotta think you have a 13.8 or lower body fat.
Yeah, because that would put me at like 20 pounds of fat.
That's what I'm saying. I bet you have less.
I've got
than
less
or
than
equal to
20
40.
pounds of fat, I'm sure.
So you are now officially at a lean status, and you really kind of got to watch that because you can get too low. I mean, you really can.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's the danger of getting too low? Because I know the BMI danger level is like 125 pounds. I'm not
BMI is fictitious, though. Body fat
Yeah.
is a lot more realistic. And
so
first
so
of all, your
having
period
extra-
could stop, Pete. I'm saying you're going to lose your period for starters. Second of all, you'll have no
Yeah.
boobs left. Which
I don't know what
that's
the
not
danger is.
attractive, Pete.
I don't know what the danger is of having a low body fat, though. It's not
I
like-
think anything below 6.7 for a man our age is a concern. It starts to get into. Now I don't know what biological functions.
Yeah, maybe there's some,
Your body will start eating muscles. What's going to happen?
yeah, there's probably some
you're-
hormone that gets released that wreaks havoc or something. Yeah.
With your liver being the way it is, might be something to think
Mhm.
about. Just you might want to look into it. Is my point. Not and then on the flip side of that, do you get tired of assholes like me saying, Pete, you're too skinny? That's, I guess, really a good question.
What I need to do is do a body shot.
Yeah, but loose skin doesn't count. Because once you cut that shit off, you're gonna lose another 10 pounds probably.
Yeah, I know, but it's still there, you know. I mean, I don't want to lose any more weight at all.
Mhm.
I know, yeah.
I mean, I feel skinny in many different ways. I mean, my legs. Okay, it's kind of silly, but sometimes I walk around with my hands on the sides of my legs, and I can feel. Just within my one hand, I can feel like 5 different muscles as I'm walking. You know,
well,
like
I do it all the time. Like I'll grab I can feel my hip bones, and the thing I don't like is whenever I'm like if I turn, my rib and my hip bone actually touch each other, and I don't like that. Yes, I don't like.
Oh, here's a question for you guys. Your sternum. Can you reach under your sternum?
Yeah, I can grab underneath of the rib,
God,
not my sternum, but I can grab under my rib cage.
Yeah, under the rib cage. The
Mm-hmm.
muscles keep me from going all the way under the rib cage, but I can, like, at least in the middle, on the sides, I can get under them a little bit
I
more.
can't do it sitting up. If I'm laying down, I can do it though.
Yeah, if I'm laying down though, like last night, my wife said, "Oh my God, your stomach is concave." I'm like, "Yeah, it's how it's supposed to fucking be on a man. You're just not used to seeing it, you know." Try and think back to when you were in college boning hot guys, you know. That's what I'm supposed to look like.
But it's actually kind of funny. Is I used to be able to really like grab onto my rib cage, but now that my core is starting to fill out, I can't do that anymore. So it's like there's progress being made.
That he can't do that.
Right in the middle, my upper abdominals have built up enough to where I can't. There's just, I mean, I have really good ab definition at the top.
But when that happened, when I realized that I could literally reach inside my body from outside my body, I freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
I don't know. The big thing for me is that the rib touching the hip bone. I don't like that. It's very uncomfortable and it just freaks me out.
So when I go to bed at night, I always fucking like touch my hip bones. Like, what? That's fucking weird. And then I'll like pinch the fucking loose skin all over the place. Like I'll just pinch it to see how much is there, and like there's nothing in there. There's nothing but skin there. What the fuck? Like, do you still find you like kind of like weirded out by your own body, or?
Yeah, sometimes, definitely. You just get a glance.
I'm the incredible stretching man.
I actually did that once. I leaned forward and actually pulled my stomach as far as I could go. I'm never going to do that again.
Don't do that, guys.
Because it is terrifying.
And you're lean. I mean, I have to imagine I'm at 18.5% body fat, which is ideal. It's definitely in the ideal range for guys our age. But I can't imagine if I got down to lean, how much skin would just be. Like, I see it on TJ now. I didn't see it on you before, TJ, but that picture where you had the orange towel, I'm like, oh, there's his loose skin. Finally.
Yeah,
like,
I'm finally
lost
getting
enough to where it's right. I'm like, that's the shit I have right there.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I've seen it on you. But I have, like, had a hard time adjusting to that. Now, you guys all probably saw my skin flick, so you kind of know what I'm talking about. But I still have a hard time processing that because I never really planned on doing any plastics. But now I'm kind of weird about it. I kind of wouldn't mind figuring out how much it would cost to get it done, just so I know, you know.
I have nothing that I want to correct. I know 100% I won't do it, but I'm like at 2% body fat because I'm 98% awesome, so that leaves 2% body fat.
Yeah.
Actually, for me though, it's not like my stomach that is the negative for me. It's like all the parts in your body that are kind of concave, like around your neck and stuff.
Yeah.
Because my skin is so loose, it like sinks into all these little things, like
grow beard,
my temple and my cheeks.
Yep, grow beard.
These places it kind of sinks in, and that I don't like.
I'm telling you, grow a beard. It camouflages all that. All my freaking long skinny neck, my concaves, because I can see it a lot. You can't see it on the videos, but when I look in the mirror, I can see my cheekbones and the concave. If I didn't have the beard, it would not be.
The weird thing is, if I lean forward to read something, my cheeks will fall forward just enough where I can see a little bit of skin right there, which is fucking weird, right? So like, what the hell is that in my peripheral? And you realize it's just your skin falling forward just a little, even on your face. It's just that this much, you know. But it's enough where you can see. It's so weird, man. It's so fucking
it's weird.
I don't know, none of it really it doesn't bother me. I don't.
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
know.
I'm not saying I'm gonna go. Oh, I gotta get a facelift. I'm saying. Well,
Yeah,
that's
you are.
weird. You're like,
Yeah.
well, I didn't see that before.
That's what you're gonna be. Fucking Joan Rivers is what you're gonna be. Watch.
I don't have the money to be Joan Rivers.
You'll have to move to Canada.
Canadian, have it done for free and then move back.
That's right. Do any Americans jump the border to go get health care over there?
I don't know, but a lot of them should, because
Yeah.
to have to spend what is it, $35,000-$40,000 in the U.S.
Yeah. To get the surgery, not to get plastics
well,
is like
to get-
10 grand, but yeah, the
Yeah,
surgery
but the
itself.
surgery
yeah.
is like, that's ridiculous.
See, we go
my
the
whole
other way.
point
We
is,
go down
I
to
think-
Mexico to
Right.
get
Right.
our surgeries.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I think that as long as, and I think this will happen more and more, and you've seen it with India, you're starting to see it with some South American countries, is they're doing these almost like vacation-style surgeries where you go to the best fucking hospital, you get to have your surgery, you stay in the best hotels for recovery, the nurses come to the hotel, they take you down to the pool, you're sitting out by the pool to recover, and it's cheaper to fly there, do that, than to have it done.
Well, it's like 10 grand.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing is,
with
you
your
don't even have to go to Mexico. You can go to Sweden.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can go anywhere. India.
You know, I
you
mean,
go to,
all these places have medical
Brazil
tourism.
started to do this. Yeah, medical tourism. And you know what?
Yeah.
That's ultimate capitalism. It'll force the U.S. market to drop their prices. They won't have a choice. And that's global economy right
Yeah.
there. I'm thinking it's a good thing.
So you know I see you got Salvador Dali picture behind you. The Salvador Dali Museum is here in Tampa.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so if you come down for Tough Mudder, you can go to the museum.
So hey, all you gotta do is get there. Obviously, we're all crashing at TJ's in sleeping bags.
That's right.
We're
Right.
doing the Tough Mudder, and then we can go do something fun.
Yeah.
We don't have to win. We're not trying to win the Tough Mudder #1 position.
Oh
We're
God,
trying to get
no.
a bunch of weight loss patients who finish the Tough Mudder no matter what it takes.
Yeah, I gotta mute myself because it's a work call. So I'll be right back.
Yeah. I can just envision, 10 of us in a group doing this, and then there's going to be that one guy that can't make it over the horse, and that's probably going to be me.
Well, then we'll throw your ass over. Scott
That's
and
what I
I
mean.
will throw you
You guys
over.
are going to throw me.
Scott will make a base. I will climb up on his shoulders because Scott is like just a power lifter, dude. That dude is
Right.
big. I'll climb up on his shoulders. You'll climb up on mine, and you'll go over. It'll be like climbing a ladder. It'll be easy. And then I'll come up. You'll hang on to me on one side. Scott will climb up my legs. He'll go over, and then I'll come over after him. We'll make it. I'm telling you, we'll make it. We'll figure it out.
I could just see the cooperation that would have to occur.
Between a
to
nuclear
make it through.
physicist, a project manager, and a what would you say your master's was? Chemical engineer?
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever your master's chemical engineering? No, come on, tell me again. Chemistry,
Geochemistry. Yeah.
zero chemistry. We can figure this shit out. We can do this. I'm telling you.
We'll be like, okay, we need some kind of a lever.
Phil looks like a good
More
leader. Stand on
torque.
his
We need
stomach.
longer levers.
Nuclear powered levers is what we need now. We can figure this out. I'm
Hey
telling
Pete, I wore my serial killer shirt for you, my Michael Myers for
Oh.
you, so you felt like a brother.
Thanks.
So.
Thanks. I'm so not a serial killer. God, I'm like the nicest guy on the planet.
That's the first thing I told Phil. I go, I'm telling you, he has bodies in his
you.
freezer.
Bodies in his freezer.
There's bodies in his freezer. It's not the guys who you think are the serial killers. So. What else? Did I miss anything while I was gone?
No, we were talking about that Tough Mudder and why it would be a good idea for him to come down for that.
Yeah, no. Even Jet Penny said you should come down. She's like, we gotta get Pete down. I'm like, Pete needs to buy a new bicycle.
Yeah, but Pete.
Yeah, Pete's presently deciding between a bicycle and a passport, and I think
there you go.
I think the bicycle's winning out. To be honest.
I thought you were going to try and get a motorcycle.
No.
No?
I have no desire to ride a motorcycle.
Neither do I. I'm with you, Pete. I've seen what happens when you wreck one of those things, and I have no idea.
Every time
No,
I'm
I
driving
stopped
and
riding because of that.
there's one in front of me or something, I'm like, dude, I could just kill you right now.
See? I told you, he's a fucking serial killer.
He's
Absolutely.
thinking about killing motorcycles.
I know. He just wanders around going, I could kill you right now. So, ladies, when you meet Pete, now you know what you're going to be thinking.
Okay, I've just ruined all possibilities of dating someone who watches the show.
Well, no, because there are a lot of women who like those prison husbands.
They do.
You might
Yeah,
be able to get them.
As long as they're in prison, sure.
Mm.
No. Girls like bad boys. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Girls like bad boys because they can fix
Fix them.
them.
Oh, I need a lot of fixing. It's just a different
There you
kind
go.
of fixing.
Pete needs fixing, ladies.
Yeah.
Cool your panties down. Hang on. He is available. He needs fixing. Women love nothing more than fixing a man. So.
I know, but you gotta love me for what I am, not what I could be.
No, Pete. You have potential, Tyrone. We can fix you.
All right, do we got any? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pete.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, do we have any final questions for Pete? We're gonna wrap it up pretty quick.
Has Pete had any alcohol since VSG?
Oh.
No, but I didn't have much alcohol before BSG because I didn't have a liver.
He doesn't have a liver.
Actually,
He has
hard
a
to-
liver, so it's a bad idea.
Actually, because my liver was pretty stable, I think I was about 6 months after weight loss surgery, I went out with an old friend. I ordered a beer, and I got about a third of a beer down, and I was just drunk.
Yeah.
Can't
I
you
was
just?
drunk?
Can't they just print you a new liver now?
I don't know, maybe.
Can't they get a pig's liver and like sew it to yours or something? It's fucking
think-
2014. Isn't that
they're-
shit possible?
They're printing all these body parts now
No,
with
that's what
those
they say.
3D
It's brilliant
printers.
new, and they take your liver cells, they put it in some like, test tube with some
Stem cells?
stem
Yeah,
cells. and
but the
grow you
problem
new.
is, there's
You
all
didn't-
kinds of shit they could do with stem cells, but there's these fucking religious
You don't
fuckers
have
that
to use them
squish
from.
all that.
You don't have to use them from babies. You can. There's other.
I say use them for babies. You know what? If you don't want your kid, abort it. Give me the stem cells so I get new body parts.
Actually, the great thing about the liver is you don't need stem cells.
Yeah, the liver is a pretty robust organ in and of itself.
Yeah, I mean, with the way they do liver transplants nowadays is they just take one lobe and they put it in the other guy, in the guy that needs it, and it regrows in the person that took it out.
Well, what the fuck? Why haven't you gotten that yet?
I'm not sick enough to get a new liver.
Well,
You still got-
You have to be dying. You have to be
You
dying
have to
to make it
fake
on
it
the
more.
list.
He has
You have to
10% of
put
his
yellow
liver
paint
left.
on
Yeah,
before you
that's
go
it.
in.
Just
I'm
put
not doing
iodine.
it today.
Take an iodine bath, and when you get out, rinse off
Eat
the
a lot of
oil.
carrots so you
Right.
get kind of orange and yellow, and then they'll be like, "Fuck, he needs a liver lobe." I mean,
Right.
what? Wait a sec. Stop. Let's back up the truck. I'm gonna point out something completely fucking stupid about this whole. The irony of this. Your liver could be regenerated with a lobe.
Right.
Hmm.
And if he could have a normal life, let's give Pete a lobe. Who the fuck cares whether he's sick enough to need it? He's sick. Let's give him what he needs, and then he can have a normal life. Like, I don't get that. You know?
Yeah, but tell that to the guy who's dying and needs a liver. There's
Well,
only so many to go
split the
around.
lobe in half. We'll give you half a lobe each. Hey,
You need
share.
a lobe
Share
donor.
that socialism. Share. The needs are equal in the eyes of socialism.
Right.
Well, Canada, yeah. Canada is a socialist country, right? Right? I mean, when
You Americans are so against socialism.
But
Mhm.
we're not. That's the thing is that
No,
Oh,
I
we
know-
know,
are.
because
We have a whole document that's against
but
it.
here's the
Nobody
thing.
knows it.
No, Americans
you
are
guys
against it.
Army. Army is the U.S. Army is the largest socialist organization in the world.
But that's because we have to defend the whole fucking world because nobody wants to pick up the check. They're like, hey, somebody's invading us. Can you guys come help? Yeah, fuck. Okay, hang on. We'll be right
We
there.
are talking about pick up the check. Don't we owe $7 trillion to fucking China?
But
We're
I bet
not
you,
even
well, no,
big
because we don't defend
country.
China. They have their own army. But I'm saying, but we have to borrow that money to go defend our friends, and we have to borrow it from China, which is not a good policy. That's a bad.
It is
policy.
because we
Well,
don't.
what are we gonna do?
nobody
Not
likes
show
China.
up? Sorry, Canada. You're just gonna have to learn how to speak German. That's the way it is. You know, like,
Yeah, we did. We're like, you know what? You helped us to defend our country, French. We'll help. Here, you can have fucking Canada. Go to Canada. We'll give you a whole fucking country. Thanks for helping us.
but
That's
then
what
England just said, well, we're taking it, and while we're at it, we're gonna start this little colony called Australia.
That's called a prison. It's not really a colony, but yeah.
Well, no, originally yes, but then they're like, shit, we lost all of our tobacco crops, we lost all of our staple crops in America because they kicked our ass out. I guess we better start planting this shit in Australia. Go look it up, man. I'm not making this shit up. You can read this.
Yeah,
stuff.
well, you can only inhabit the first 10 feet of Australia around
That's
the
true, but
coast.
all the way around, that's a lot of feet because
I
if you
guess.
take the coast of Australia and go all the way around, it's big. It's pretty big. The middle, useless, but yeah, you're
Mm.
pretty much right.
All right, we're digressing.
That's your
Pete,
history
thank you
lesson.
very much. Thank you very much for
Yes.
showing up.
Thanks for having me on, and you
And
guys
thank
are
you
a
for
lot of fun.
adjusting to my shitty schedule. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we were supposed to do this way earlier, but Phil had to go.
Well, I
to
did
the
have a
party.
date with a gorgeous girl, but for you guys,
Well,
You're like, oh, I gotta go on Fat Kings.
sorry, I had sex with a woman like 15 and 9 months ago, and then she had this baby, and I have to show up for his birthday now. It's fucking horrible.
Oh shit! So your son's getting ready to start driving, huh?
He's gonna be 15 this year. Yeah, I'm gonna start making him drive. When I take him out to the gun range, Pete, cover your ears. I know this is sensitive.
No, actually, Canadians they are.
have
we have more guns than you
They have,
guys.
yeah. They just know how not to shoot each other.
Anti-gunners don't like that statistic, so we can't repeat it.
Oh, okay.
So, it's terrible. That would admit something that they don't want to admit. So, it's not a problem with guns. It's a problem with our fucking culture. Anyway, when I take him to the gun range, I make him drive inside the gun range because it's private property, so he can drive down to the shooting range and back up to the gate. So, the first time I put him in the seat, I assume the gas pedal is on the right, the brakes in the middle. Like, I just know, right? Get in, he puts it in gear. Whoa!
Oh wow!
Takes off, brakes. This is an automatic, so it's kind of funny. I'm like, oh yeah, wait, we have to dial it back all the way to the basics. I forgot. So, kind of fun. But I'm looking forward to that. So.
I stole my dad's car at like 9, so I knew how to drive by the time driving time came around.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that seems like a good place. Thank you, Pete. I appreciate it. And ladies, again.
Pete's available.
Well,
He's a good guy.
Pete's a steal, so if you're single.
He insists he's not a serial killer, so don't listen to what I say.
You should learn from your married compatriots and say, they're basically saying, like, if I wasn't stuck with my married husband, Pete would be it. That's what they're really saying.
Well, women always talk about how I want a nice guy. Well, here's a single nice guy. So
That's it.
prove
Now,
it.
you got to be careful of his back a little bit, but other than that, and his liver. But you don't have to worry about him becoming an alcoholic.
That's right. He
You don't
doesn't
have
do
to worry about
drugs.
him.
He doesn't do drugs.
He doesn't do drugs. So I'm saying, if you really put your vagina where your mouth is. That's all I'm saying.
That would be amazing to watch. I just did my back to basics sex video, so everybody, it's going to come out tomorrow, and it has pictures.
Work for that.
It has
Pictures?
Oh,
It does have pictures.
Oh my!
Oh yeah.
In the mortal words of George Takei.
Oh my!
Oh my.
Tacky. All right, Phil. Take us out of here.
All right, thanks guys for tuning in to Fat Kings Friday, where the light has faded into the sunset.
Oh, don't forget next week, huge show.
Next week we
Huge
have
show.
breaking. Again, this no bullshit. I know you're used to us joking around, but this is some big news. It's kind of news I don't even want to talk about, to be honest with you, but it's so big, it's kind of hard to ignore.
I just want to put out there that I'm the one who secured the rights, so I
Right.
did all the work on this.
Tyrone did all the work on this. I'm on the fence. So, and you guys know me. So if I'm on the fence about talking about this, that in and of itself is the reason to tune in. But
I'm gonna say that you've got Carrie Fisher coming on the show. She's put on a few pounds.
I
We're gonna have Princess Leia
coming on the
edition.
show. I don't care how much older she is. I don't care how much heavier she is. That metal bikini's going on, and she and I are getting busy on camera. That's all there is to it. I don't give a fuck. So anyway, because I would have bragging rights for all of time. Star Wars nerds everywhere would feel a great tremor in the force as if 1,000 orgasms happened, and suddenly were put out. That's how it would be.
I don't know. I don't think you can handle Carrie Fisher, but anyway.
I don't think I could either, but I'm willing to try.
No,
All right,
that's
that's it for this week. I will be coming back at you Tuesday with Fat Kingsville Phase 2, which is going to be a whole new format. Pete, what day do you normally release?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, so he will also be on Tuesday. Tyrone,
I promise every week to do one, and I never do. But anyway,
Fridays.
back to
as part of
basics
Back to
on
Basics.
Fridays. Yes.
Right. So just plan Fridays. So tomorrow, he'll be talking about sexy time.
Mhm.
And that's it for this week. Until next time, remember, it's good to be the king.